Hey folks, my guest today is Siam Chaudhary. He's building Pliance.io, Stockholm-based founder with background from Facebook, Acast, and many fintech companies. His core focus and interest now is around product management, but he's grown to learn and enjoy sales during the startup journey at Pliance, where he's helping combat financial crime. Sam, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, thanks for
All
inviting
right.
me.
Who'd you build this for? Who are your customers today?
Our customers are primarily regulated financial companies, so companies that fall under anti-money laundering legislation with a risk for financial crime and money laundering.
You're talking like KYC, know your all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
knowing your customer, transaction monitoring, those kind of things.
Interesting. Okay, and what are customers paying you on average per month to use this technology?
Excuse me?
What are customers paying per month on average to use the
Oh,
technology?
it's quite varied. Our model is a sort of SaaS volume-based model, so it can go from a few $100s a month to sort of thousands of dollars per year.
And what are you pricing off of?
Of active users, so active end consumers that need to be screened against, for example, a sanctions list or sort of KYC, or that need to be done on transaction monitoring.
So how do you, okay, let's say that a bank uses you, right? And they have 1,000 new customers sign up in October. They obviously have to
Mhm.
pay you to scan those 1,000 people one time, but then next month they don't have to scan those 1,000 people again. So how do you deal with churn?
So actually, for the legislation, you kind of, as an institution, you need to do continuous screening on your customer base. So as long as you have an active business relationship with a bank, for example, then they need to know this information about you. So for us, we basically, as long as a customer is active within a bank, we monitor them and have that as part of our pricing model, which is why we sort of refer to it as a active customer instead of each screening
I
event.
see. I see. Okay. And what do you, I'm sure the seat price varies with volume, but on average, what do you pay per active or what do you charge per active customer?
For active customers, I'd say it's about maybe 50 cents.
Okay.
But then we can also scale that as the volumes grow.
Yep.
Or if
Yep.
they're
Yep.
very low volume, we also have pay-as-you-go models.
Yep. Fair enough. The what's the largest customer that you're working with today? How many scans or customer checks are they doing per month?
They're doing about 50K sort of active
Wow.
customers per month, our
Wow.
largest
Okay.
customer.
That's great. And am I right with it's mainly banks?
It's mainly financial institutions. So we kind of focus on the SMB to mid-market segment within banking and finance, also within gambling and insurance. But it's
Ah,
let's say the SMB to mid-market is our sort of key customer segment.
okay. Interesting. And I imagine if someone's doing that many scans per month, they're able to get a discount from 50 cents per customer, right?
Yeah, so that's where we have sort of a volume-based stair step, where as they
Yeah.
go up to higher volumes, the pricing scales with them, allowing us to grow with them, but they can also make sure that their sort of margins improve and they can sort of scale as well.
And Sam, how low can that price per scan or price per customer go? I mean, I'm talking like 10 cents.
It can. It really
Okay.
depends on sort of what those volumes look like and sort of
Well,
what kind
that's
of
why I'm
coverage they really
curious.
need.
With the volume example you just gave, at that
Yeah.
volume, can it be 10 cents as a scan?
Have to be higher to get to that level.
Why is that?
It's basically so that we can get a sort of better discount on the volumes that we process, and we sort of have scaling effects on the sort of sources that we manage to get these kind of information.
Okay, so that biggest customer, then they're paying more than 10 cents per active customer per month. You need more volume in order to give them a bigger discount.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Give me the backstory here. When did you start writing code for this platform?
I actually never did. So I was more of a product manager, and my two co-founders started. But I think the first line of code was around late 2018.
Mhm.
That was when we sort of really validated the product, the sort of the customer base, and really felt that we had something to offer sort of more sort of fintech or techie finance customers that wanted a sort of an API focused solution.
And did you guys just split equity evenly?
Yeah.
Yo, you're nice to each other.
Well, we kind of saw each other's strengths and realized that, hey, if we want to do this really well, we all need to be equally incentivized to sort of put everything into it.
Yeah. Now, did you guys raise capital or bootstrap?
We bootstrapped the first 3 years, and also just recently this year, end of April, sort of took in our first sort of seed round.
And how much was that for?
That was, I think, in dollars, just 500,000 or something around that.
And why did you need that? Why couldn't you keep bootstrapping?
For us, it was we wanted to sort of wait with raising funds to show that we have a business that we know how to sell, and we can sort of recreate all the steps of it, and then show that with funding we can scale faster and go into other markets and show that there's a model that we can scale in terms of sales, in terms of outreach, versus experimenting, like being like, oh, we're trying to figure this out, or we don't know yet. And at that stage, we really felt that we could take it to the next level. We could sort of staff up and sort of go into other markets.
And Siam, obviously you want to grow to other markets, but obviously you need to take care of current customers as well. How many current customers are you working with?
We have about 30 current customers.
And what market are you excited about moving into?
At the moment, it's to move outside of Sweden, which is where we have most of our customers. We also have customers in all of the Nordic countries and out in Europe. So our sort of next focus is on being more proactive in our outreach in the Nordic countries and in the European countries.
I see. And what would you say of those 30 customers on average? How many customer checks are they doing per month, would you say?
On average, I think it'll be about 15, 20,000.
Okay.
But it varies quite a lot from our smallest, which maybe has a few handful to a few hundred, to, as I mentioned, the largest one, which is around 250,000.
Yep. But if you're doing, 15,000 scans per month and you get a little discount off the 50 cents per scan, let's say it's 30 cents per scan. These are like enterprise customers, right? That's like $4,500 a month for you in terms of revenue, right?
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. Interesting. Very cool. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So you're looking to expand. You mentioned your 3 co-founders. What's the rest of the team look like today? How many people?
So we're 6 people today, and then excluding a couple of sort of interns, but the team sort of structures basically are my 2 co-founders who are developers. We have a designer, a product designer, and a salesperson, and are sort of now adding another couple of salespeople and another developer. And then we have sort of additional help within sort of market, PR, and interns within sort of sales and prospecting.
And it sounds like you guys are with that. It sounds like you have a small team relative to the larger amount of revenue that you're doing. Can we take 30 active customers times 4,000 to 5,000 a month? You're doing about 130,000 a month in revenue right now.
We're not quite there yet. I think we're still activating customers. So we kind of get them sort of signed up, and they kind of, depending on when they receive their license to go live, that's when they sort of start paying, when they actually are sort of have active live customers in the platform.
How many of the 30 are active?
About half of them. So
I see. 15. I see. Okay. So you're more like 60,000 a month in revenue, something like that.
I'd say it's closer to, I'd say, what was the number? So it's about like 15,000 right now.
How much?
15,000.
15. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So how do you, where do you think most of your growth is going to come from? Is it getting current customers to do more customer checks per month, or have you already penetrated your current base at like 100%?
No, so it's basically around getting new customers. We're in sort of a niche market, but it's a quite big niche with sort of, as I mentioned, banking and finance customers, insurance, gambling, and our product is sort of internationally viable. So we have customers from outside of Sweden as well. And it's also looking at customers that we can grow. So some of our customers are already small, but as they're scaling and they're growing, we have another opportunity to grow with them. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of a 2-pronged for us. We want to have new customers, but we also sort of see ourselves growing with our existing customers.
And speaking of growth, if you're at $15,000 today in revenue, where were you exactly a year ago? Do you remember?
A year ago, we were maybe in less than 1,000. That was a really sort of early stage for us. We just figured out that, okay, the product works, people are willing to pay for it. We just need to learn how to reach out to customers and sell it. So we had 3 customers, I'd say, by beginning of 2020, and end of 2020, we had 15.
Yep. Well, end of 2020, you had 15. You said you had 15 active customers right now.
Yeah, so those were signed customers, and then sort of the actives are essentially just sort of catching up. And
how many new? So sorry, I think you just said you have 15 active customers today, but then you also said you had 15 12 months ago. So have you had no growth the past 12 months?
No, so we had 15 signed customers by end of 2020. And out of those, there were like maybe 5 customers that were active. So we sort of tripled the sort of active customers and the signed customers as well.
Got it. They were signed, but they weren't active yet.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, very cool. And then do you know anything yet about CAC? What's it cost you to onboard a new $5,000 a month customer?
At the moment, it's relatively high. I think we have around, let's say, $8,000 in sort of CAC, counting sort of our salesperson salaries, as most of our sales are sort of outreach based. But as we're getting sort of scaling up our sales and getting more and more customers, that's sort of going down on a sort of per customer level.
Yep, that makes sense. Do you know anything yet about churn, or is it too early?
I'd say it's still too early, but our oldest customer is 3 years old, and we haven't lost a customer yet. So our churn is really good. There is a stickiness in an API-based product that is a sort of must-have for these kind of customers. And then, of course, it's wishful thinking to have 0% churn forever, but we're still pretty confident that we have a product that offers a lot of value, and it's only our customers to lose. So we kind of make sure that we're on top of their needs and make sure that they don't really want to leave.
Sam, on that note, let's wrap up with the famous five. Number one, favorite business book?
I think it's Rework. I forget the name of the author, but
number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
None really, actually.
Okay. Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building clients?
It's probably Slack. That's all the communication, all the planning is going on there.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
7 to 8 hours.
And what's your situation, Siam? Married, single, kids?
Recently married, about to have kids.
Oh, congrats. Very cool. And
Thanks.
how old are you?
I'm 37.
37. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20?
I think I wish that I had more of a direction when I was 20. I was still figuring out like, hey, what do I even want to do?
Guys, Pliance.io is working with financial institutions to help them make sure that their customer checks are accurate and legally comply. They have over 15 customers paying today. Over 30 have signed. They bill on a sort of price per check. One of our largest customers scans over 250,000 customers each month. Again, scaling nicely, 500,000 pre-seed round as they broke $15,000 a month in revenue this year, looking to scale obviously bigger in 2022. Siam, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.